welcome to this newspaper reading session, and I'll be reading this newspaper. Of course, I am a bit of late, and I will be reading this newspaper, and it is almost you can see um, 1 1 p.m. actually, and I am a bit of late, so I'll be reading this newspaper in front of you guys. So please bear with me, and no, okay, let's start. Having a slap. Autopsy shows Baruipur girl gang raped, brutalized, three held. Stuffed in sack, dumped in pond when still alive. The 12-year-old schoolgirl, whose body was recovered from a local pond in Baruipur on Sunday, was sexually abused, brutally tortured, packed into a sack, and hurled into the water body when she was still alive. The autopsy report has indicated so. So, the report says her private parts bore marks of horrific injuries, including burns, and the back of her head had a blunt injury caused either by a blow or by a forceful hitting it against a hard surface, leading to significant bleeding. The lungs contained muddy water, suggesting she was still breathing when dumped in the pond. The report lists excessive blood loss and suffocation from drowning as the likely cause of death. The time of death is believed to be Saturday night. The autopsy report prompted police to slap BNS section for gang rape, murder, destruction of evidence, criminal conspiracy, and POXO section against the three prime suspects, Anando Sardar, Divakar Sardar, and Prabhas Mondal. All three were arrested on Monday. On Monday, a fourth suspect, Indrajit Tati, was lynched by a mob on Sunday. A six-member special investigation team has detained three others, one of whom has political connection. Locals and the victim's kin claimed they had caught Anando and handed him over to cops on Sunday, but he mysteriously went missing from the Suryapur police camp. Prabhas told cops Anando had hatched the plot to abduct the girl and demand rupees 50,000 as ransom from her father, and he had handed over the girl to Divakar. Prabhas claimed Ananda tortured and strangled her, but he was not present at that time. An officer said. Cops, however, suspect this is not the entire truth. So over to the page 3. Laps will show them the door. Local cops face probe after same order. Death for culprits. So, want death for culprits. Girl's mom. Prabhas was seen walking with the girl in a CCTV footage at 4:10 p.m. on Saturday. He was the one who took locals and cops to the pond where the body was found, about a kilometer from the victim's home on Sunday morning. Police on Monday produced Prabhas and Dibakar in Baripur court, where no lawyer came forward to defend the duo. Both were sent to police custody for 14 days. The victim's mother said she wants police to ensure the culprits are punished by death. We want these devils to suffer the same way as my child suffered before dying, and we want them punished as soon as possible. Many such incidents have happened before. We never saw justice being served. Now a new government is in office. We hope to get justice, she said. In view of the lynching and arson in Baruipur on Sunday, cops on Monday clamped Section 163 of BNSS, previously Section 144 IPC, across Baruipur, Sonarpur, and Narendrapur police stations of Baruipur subdivision. Even as the probe into the rape murder was on, another body was fished out from the same pond where the minor's body was found. This is something new. Even as the probe into the rape murder was on, another body was fished out from the same pond where the minor's body was found. It was identified as that of the Krishnokanto Haldar, 30, who was missing for the past 3 days. Police, however, ruled out any connection of these deaths with the rape murder. This is the news which is not actually being circulated in the social media. We whoever has got to know about this case are known to this fact that this fact of the rape and murder case of that 12 years old girl child. But this thing like fishing out of another body, it is something new. Okay, I think there is a sure connection with that. Okay, what's next then? Three detained, one suspect lynched. Girl leaves home a little after 4 p.m. on Saturday to buy a birthday present. CCTV footage shows her near Suryapur Market at 4:41 p.m. 4:41 p.m. with a man who is identified by villagers as Prabhas Mandal. Prabhas Mandal is the main, is one of the main culprits who took the girl in, from on the road, like she was moving towards her home, and this Prabhas, he called that child to their place. He took the child to their place. Girl's father files a kidnap case on Saturday night when she fails to return home. Villagers nab Prabhas on Sunday morning, who leads them to a pond where girl's body is recovered. It is stuffed inside a sack. Crime accused Ananda Sardar, Divakar Sardar and Prabhas are arrested. A fourth accused is lynched by the villagers. Three others are detained by SIT. Cops slap gang rape and POXO section to murder after autopsy report. Now, CM likely to meet victim's family today, assuring that government will seek capital punishment for all accused in Baruipur rape murder case. CM Shubhendu Adhikari, who is likely to meet the bereaved family on Tuesday, said the mob violence had a communal angle, and those responsible will also face the consequences. He promised zero tolerance for the most heinous incident. Then coming to the fifth speech, it's state to seek death sentence in Baruipur rape murder case. CM Shubhendu may meet deceased family today, assuring that the Bengal government will seek capital punishment for all accused in Baruipur rape murder case. Rape murder case. CM Shubhendu Adhikari, who is likely to meet the bereaved family on Tuesday, said the mob violence had a communal angle, and those responsible will also face the consequences. Speaking to the reporters after attending the birth anniversary program of Shama Prasad Mukherjee at a Mitro institution, the chief minister said he spoke to the victim's father on Sunday and assured the family of the state government's full support. Promising zero tolerance, Odhikari said capital punishment will be given whether the father has asked whatever the father has asked for. The CM will ensure it is done. I am happy that they have placed their trust in me. Odhikari, who is set to visit the Baruipur SP's office on Tuesday, described the rape murder case as the most heinous incident. The CM said special investigation team SIT has been constituted to probe the crime, adding that victim's family has named four persons in its complaint. Under the leadership of the IG, the police and STF are working together. I do not want to speak in the middle of the investigation, but justice will be ensured, he said. Adhikari said four FIRs have been lodged, including the rape murder case and three other linked to the violence that followed. He alleged that the mob violence had a communal angle and drew with parallels with earlier episodes of unrest, including the 2019 anti-CAA protests and demonstration against the Waqf bill. Railway tracks were uprooted, two CRPF jawans were injured, and a police vehicle was set on fire. Rest assured, justice will be delivered in the first case. As for the other three incidents, the restless souls who lost the election, went into hiding, and are still in hiding have carried out these three acts together. They too will have to face the consequences. They will suffer in such a way that they will understand. CM said, warning against vigilant, uh, warning against vigilante violence. Adhikari said around 200 people involved in the mob attack have been identified. Mob violence in the name of protest will not be tolerated. Law exists in the state, he said. Agnimitra Paul, the State Urban Development and Municipal Affairs Minister, said justice will be given to the family the way they will wish. There is no place for any compromise here. So, cops let one of accused go, alleges victim's uncle. The state police headquarters has started a probe into the allegations of lapses by police while investigating the rape murder of Barwipur minor. CM Shubhendu Odhikari said on Monday that accountability would extend to the police if lapses were found during the investigation. If after the missing diary was lost, the local police administration was not sufficiently proactive, or there was negligence on the part of any police personnel, I will show the police officer the door, he said. The CM's hard stance prompted Bhavani Bhavan, State Police Headquarters, to seek a report from Baruipur SP Arvind Kumar Anand to ascertain if there was any lapse by the cops in registering, investigating, and reacting to the rape murder of the minor. The SP has been asked to submit a detailed report explaining the role of the officer in charge and other police personnel, and including details of the official entries made in the GD. The victim's uncle said initially there was negligence on the part of the police. Later, the IC officer in charge spoke to us. After that, the CM and functionaries from various political parties called us. He added, on Sunday we caught two men and handed them over to cops, but they let one of them go. Parliamentary findings have reportedly indicated some lapses, including a delay in launching a search. State police sources claim senior officials are unhappy with the role of senior officers in the district, with at least two of them coming under scrutiny for reaching the spot much later than expected. According to police sources, some grave allegations have been raised by locals regarding how police reacted to the probe. Primarily, it has been alleged that the first clue on the victim was provided by locals by scanning through CCTV footage, a job that was expected to be done by cops. Even when one of the accused, Prabhash Mandal, was identified, the locals accompanied officers to the pond where the body had been dumped. Local alleged that had the cops probed in earnest, the child could have been traced alive. The girl's father had lodged a missing complaint by night, which mentioned the girl had said she was going to market. The marketplace has CCTV cameras. The body was found the next morning barely a kilometer from the spot. All the prime accused were locals. So there was a possibility that the girl could be found alive if the police had taken the steps earlier, the required steps earlier. Now, teacher took app to court for circulating her books. She won. Look, girls, you have to stand for yourself first, because here a teacher uh, took an application to court for circulating her book online, and then she won against that application. New Delhi. Long before the center woke up to the menace of unauthorized content being disseminated over messaging apps such as Telegram, a Delhi teacher running a coaching center won a legal battle on the issue against the global tech company, reports Avinav. Fed up of her books designed to train students for competitive examinations ending up on various channels run by Telegram, Neetu Singh took the platform to High Court in 2020 and saw details of all infringers. The app cited free speech and right to privacy, arguing that unless a person is a likely terrorism suspect, subscriber information cannot be disclosed. The court rejected the argument. So, right to privacy, uh, continued news on the sixth page. Can't use right to privacy as excuse for illegal act, High Court has said. So, a bench of Justice Pratibha M. Singh rejected Telegram's argument and held that the defense of free speech and right to privacy cannot be used by any entity, including an infringer, to escape the consequences of illegal actions. The court also directed Telegram to disclose in a sealed cover the details of channels disseminating the content of in violating of copyright law. The judge said unless the identity of the operators of infringing channel is disclosed, the plaintiff would be rendered remediless. Sorry, the plaintiffs would be rendered remediless. So Telegram is really under surveillance now, and it has to evolve. It has to evolve its review system, its security system. Okay. Now, E20 fuel may damage rubber parts in E10 cars, said unpublished report. So why unpublished report? This kind of reports are ought to be published, right? So a report by Automotive Research Association (ARAI) of India, Automotive Research Association of India (ARAI), which recommended rollout of E20, had concluded that using the fuel E10 compliant vehicles showed deterioration in rubber parts of fuel system components such as hoses, seals, or the O-rings. The study, not yet made public, has been a reference point of government and vehicle makers. It had said these parts may need replacements. On all vehicles tested, E20 was found to have no adverse impact on metallic components, and emission with E20 were within legislative limit on E10 compatible vehicles. So, it is continued in the ninth page. Issues with engine. Issues with engine. Why issues with engine? Actually, it is the issue with the fuel, man. Issues with BS6 engine after 265 hours of durability. Its finding on the impact of E20 fuel on E10 vehicles also stated that during four-wheeler engine durability test, the performance of one BS6 engine was acceptable with E20, but issue was observed in with BS6 turbocharged engine after 265 hours of durability. The part of the study that dealt with engine durability stated that two four-wheeler vehicle manufacturers or OEMs carried out the test, while for uh, one of the OEMs, no issue was observed for engine durability after 400 hours of testing, and performance was acceptable with E20 fuel. In the case of other OEM, thermomechanical failure of exhaust valve was observed in the engines tested cumulatively for 809 hours. A thermomechanical failure, let the plate pass first. A thermomechanical failure occurs when combined stress of extreme heat and rapid repetitive physical movement causes an engine exhaust valve to crack, or fracture. People aware of this finding said there could be other reasons for thermomechanical failure of the exhaust valve in case of second OEM. However, experts involved in vehicle testing said that generally engine durability tests are carried out for 2000 hours. As per the report, engine durability tests conducted by three two-wheelers three two-wheeler manufacturers found no issues, and the performance is acceptable with E20 fuel. তো তার মানে হচ্ছে যে E20 ফুয়েল কিন্তু E10 কম্প্যাটিবলের জন্য খারাপ, কোনটা কথা এটা? So now there is what's the next? CNG EV models 40% of June vehicle sales. So Indian car buyers are moving away from petrol, diesel, or any kind of E20, E85, or E100, hybrid and electric models, making up 40% of passenger vehicle sales for the first time in June. Like with পেট্রোল ডিজেল ভেহিকলের থেকে বেশি সিএনজি, হাইব্রিড আর ইলেকট্রিক্যাল মডেলসের আসছে ঠিকই, This is up sharply from 33.6% a year ago, and now it is 38.02% in May, FADA said. So now another news of uh, another warning to another social media platform. Government gives WhatsApp 3 more days to reply to notice on username. Government has given WhatsApp 3 more days to respond to its notice over the messaging platform's proposed username feature. The Meta-owned company has assured the government it will not roll out the feature in India until consultations are completed. Are complete. According to a PTI report, WhatsApp sought additional time to reply to the Ministry of Elections and IT after government raised concerns that the feature could increase online fraud, phishing, impersonation, and so-called digital arrest scams. The original deadlines expired last week. The proposed feature would allow users to communicate without sharing the mobile phone numbers using unique username instead. Hmm, that's a good thing to use unique username, right? Then we don't have to share our number to anyone. We can easily use the user ID of WhatsApp. So this news is being continued on the ninth page of this newspaper. Features still under development will be introduced later this year, WhatsApp said. Last week, government asked Meta to put the rollout on hold until discussions with the government were completed to its satisfaction. It also sought an explanation on why actions should not be initiated under the Information Technology Act and related rules, arguing that the feature could heighten cybercrime risk. Oh my god. It also sought an explanation on why actions should not be initiated under the Information Technology Act and related rules, arguing that the feature could heighten cybercrime risk. Also, according to them, this feature can heighten the risk. I don't know. I'm not an expert of it. WhatsApp has maintained that the feature is still under development and will be introduced gradually later this year. It said users would still need a phone number to create an account, that several safeguards had been built into the system to prevent abuse. The company said high profile usernames, including those of public figures, government entities, and verified Meta accounts, would be reserved for legitimate owners. It also plans to limit unsolicited messages, block repeated attempts to guess usernames, and detect suspicious behavior. WhatsApp added the users receiving a first message through a username would be shown contextual information, including whether the sender is a new account, share common groups, or is based in another country to help them decide whether to respond or not. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. SC refuses urgent hearing in PIL against profit remarks. Okay. I wish they could use this kind of alarms when they used to smoke ganja and all. I really hate them. These neighborhood, these local people who are abusing their freedom. And I do really like those people. I do really respect those people who actually live happily and also let us live. Don't create any kind of uh, problem for us or any person to um, make them uncomfortable. They do not make them other people uncomfortable. Those people are really, really uh, respected persons for me. So Viscera report withheld trial let off in 1986 murder case. A Viscera report cannot be relied upon to secure convictions if it was not specifically put before the accused during trial. The Allahabad High Court has ruled, setting aside the conviction of two brothers and their father in 1989 in a dowry death case, reports Rajesh Kumar Pandey, allowing an appeal against a trial court order convicting the trio on charges of killing the wife of one of the brothers in 1986. High Court held that merely questioning the accused about the alleged administration of poison to the deceased was insufficient, as the prosecution withheld the primary scientific evidence, the viscera report, from them during their examination. HC cites SC rulings. Let's read on the fifth page. Fifth page. High Court cites three SC rulings on the withholding evidence. Once the viscera report, which was the prosecution's only conclusive scientific evidence linking the accused to the alleged murder, was excluded from the consideration, the conviction could not be sustained. The High Court Division Bench, Justice Siddharth Verma and Jai Krishna Upadhyay ruled on June 3rd, acquitting the three men of all charges. The prosecution had relied on the viscera report, which detected zinc phosphide, a highly toxic in rodenticide, a highly toxic rodenticide, মানে ইঁদুর মারার ওষুধ যেটাকে বলে, a highly toxic rodenticide in the deceased stomach, intestine, kidneys, and spleen. However, during trial, when the accused were examined under Section 313 of CRPC, they were not confronted with the contents of the viscera reports. The bench cited three Supreme Court rulings of 2008, 2013, and 2025, which held that if the prosecution intends to rely on an important piece of evidence against an accused, the accused must be specifically questioned about it and given an opportunity to explain it. If such an essential piece of evidence is not put on the accused to the accused, it must be excluded from the consideration and cannot form the basis of conviction. SC had ruled. Oh my goodness. পরে পাওয়া গেছে এরকম তো হতে পারে যে that information or that the report got later. They got the report later. And no, they don't know the better way. There are many news. I actually read those which are, which I do think are important, more important. CBSE duo lose marks in paper not under review. So, two CBSE class students, 12 students, who sought re-evaluation got an unexpected result. higher sources in the subject they challenged, lower marks in paper they had not sought a review. It pushed the result status of Faridabad student from pass to repeat in theory and could jeopardize their college admission. Page 9. Two CBSE students lose marks in papers not sent for re-evaluation. Two CBSE 12 students who approached the board seeking re-evaluation got an unexpected result. Higher sources in the subjects they challenged, lower marks in paper they had not sought a review. It pushed their overall result status from pass to repeat in theory and could jeopardize their college admission as universities have begun closing applications. This case have been reported from the same school of Faridabad. One student applied for re-evaluation only in chemistry and home science. After class 12, results were declared on May 13. The outcome initially appeared favorable. Chemistry marks rose from 42, which is repeat, to 52, which is pass, while home science improved from 70 to 79. But when the revised mark sheet arrived, the family discovered that the students' marks in math, a subject for which no re-evaluation had ever been sought, dropped from 46 to 40, changing the overall result back to repeated in theory, like RT. The second student faced the similar ordeal. After seeking re-evaluation only in physics and computer science, the student secured higher marks in both subjects. Yet the revised mark sheet showed chemistry marks reduced from 52 pass to 43, which is repeated in theory, despite no request having been made for revaluation of that paper. মানে ছিল রুমাল হয়ে গেল বিড়াল, চেয়েছিল কেমিস্ট্রির জন্য খাতা ইভ্যালুয়েট করতে, কেমিস্ট্রির নাম্বার বাড়লো কিন্তু অঙ্কের জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করেনি, এদিকে অঙ্কের নাম্বার কমে গেল। মানে জাদু নাকি? মানে এদিকের নাম্বার নিয়ে ওইদিকের ঘাড়ে এ কি করছো তোমরা? The revisions altered results of both students of DAV public schools and jeopardized their admission prospects. Their family have lodged complaints with CBSE regional office. They pointed out that since admission deadlines are fast approaching, students are at risk of losing an academic year. Kerala University prints answer in question paper. Tiruvananthapuram. One of the questions in the second semester BSc Statistics exam conducted by Kerala University on Monday had its answer printed alongside it. Its answer. One of the questions in the second semester BSc Statistics exam conducted by Kerala University on Monday has its answer printed alongside it. Controlled of examinations, Professor Gopakumar said an explanation has been sought from the chairperson of Board of Studies responsible for conducting the examination. Those involved in preparing the question paper described it as a silly mistake caused by a technical error. What was identified as the answer printed alongside question number was only part of the answer and could not be treated as the complete answer. But students said that the one mark question asked about relationship between physical exercise and body mass and the printed response negatively correlated. Was the correct answer? ভগবান কি যে হবে চেষ্টা Ram Temple ex-trustee Mishra failed to secure donations. SIT probing 124 crore rupees spent by trust on temple event. Temple Trust forms panel of 3 to pick CEO now. Okay. Now the next news is about. It is actually a good news. Let's break it out in front of you guys. Bring it about to you like 7-year-old Bangla girl born without ears gets implant at City Hospital. A 7-year-old girl from Bangladesh born without outer ears and ear canal underwent a bone conduction implant. So this patient is actually from Bangladesh and she was treated here. A 7-year-old girl from Bangladesh born without outer ears like this. This is called the outer ear part, the pinna, and the inner canal underwent a bone conduction implant procedure at a city private hospital that will let her hear. The complicated procedure involves fitting a magnetic device inside the skin that will act as the sound recipient to the inner ear and an outer unit that will catch sound and transmit it to the former. While the inner unit was successfully implanted last week, the outer unit will be fitted after 3 weeks once the surgical wounds are healed. So, the procedure conducted at CMRI CK Birla Hospital is distinct from a cochlear implant, explained Enrique Mohan, otologist and cochlear implant surgeon who led the procedure along with a surgical team. While the girl's inner ear is functioning normally, the bony canal is missing, which has been preventing sound transmission. Um, she has no eardrum either, so she has so far been completely deaf. We decided to conduct a bone conduction implant since all she needed was something to catch the sound and send the signal to her inner ear. We have used a magnetic implant which was stitched to the skull. Once the area heals, we will fit the other unit, which comprises a microphone and the processor and is technically called piezoelectric implants, said Mohan. The external unit or sound processor can be worn on behind the ear and its microphones pick up surrounding noises. In passive system, it converts these noises into vibrations. In active systems, it sends digital signals to implant. The internal implant is a small titanium fixture in the skull bone behind the ear. This titanium integrates naturally with the bone. The external processor connects to it either via snap on post um, percutaneous or a magnetic connection through the skin transcutaneous. The implant transfers the vibration directly through the skull to the inner ear or the cochlea, entirely skipping the eardrum and ear canal thing. So Cochlear implant is an electronic medical device that bypasses the damaged parts of the ear to directly stimulate the auditory nerve, providing a sense of sound to individuals with severe to profound hearing loss. We, we assessed the malformation of her ear and the results were poor. Had we reconstructed her ear canal, she would have required multiple surgeries which may not have provided a satisfactory result. So we decided against it, said Mohan. So they do not reconstructed the ear canal, but they got an implant. So once the external unit is implanted, the outer ears or pinna can be constructed. Mohan said, she can wear prosthetic ears too. It was not decided yet. The priority. Hmm, I'm so sorry for the sudden breakdown of the structure where the phone actually was placed. No problem. It happens. So where was I? Okay, here. Once the external unit is implanted, the outer ears of or pinna can be constructed, said Mohan. She can wear prosthetic ear too. It was not decided yet. The priority now is to make the child hear. Since the inner ear is functioning fine, once the outer implant is fitted, she should hear fine even without the outer ears of pinna. He added. The outer unit or the processor like a magnetic coin which sticks and will be placed slightly removed from the area where the outer ears would be. So it is detachable like a hearing aid. She can take it off while bathing or sleeping. The patient has been discharged. She will be readmitted 3 weeks later to fit the outer processor. So here is an example. Here is an actually description. So a processor is a complicated procedure to bypass that. There is a magnetic device. Look, this this one is the and another update from the RG case. State government extends suspension of ex-CP to other cops by 120 days. The state government has extended the suspension of three senior police officers, including the former Commissioner Vinit Goyal, by another 120 days. The three officers are being investigated for their roles in handling the rape murder case of a doctor at Arjipur Medical College and Hospital in 2024. And then, apart from Goyal, the other two suspended officers are former DC North Abhishek Gupta and former DC Central Indira Mukherjee. Sources said the extension of the suspension will allow the inquiry to continue without interference. CBI questioned all three officers on June 19 as part of its responded probe into allegations of evidence destruction and attempts to protect the real culprits. Goyal was heading Kolkata police at the time of the incident. Gupta was in charge of the investigation at the Arjikor hospital crime scene. Mukherjee was not directly linked to the main investigation carried out by Kolkata police before the case was handed over to the CBI. But she was responsible for the briefing to the media, like briefing the media. So the Kolkata Police Detective Department had arrested Sanjay Roy, the only accused arrested so far in this case. There are too many proceedings. Suicide due to dowry related tortures, not very rare. High Court reduces husband sentences. Suicide due to dowry related tortures is not very rare or uncommon. The Calcutta High Court observed on Monday, while reducing a man's life sentence to 10 years, rigorous imprisonment in connection with the 2014 death by suicide of his wife and their minor daughter. The division bench of Justice Arijit Banerjee and Apurva Sinha Roy based the reduction on a Supreme Court ruling that held life imprisonment is not mandatory in every dowry death case and that the maximum punishment should be reserved for the rare case. The division bench held the commission of suicide failing to bear with the torture for demand of dowry is not very rare or uncommon, and accordingly, in view of the judgment passed in Hari Om Supra, um, we are inclined to reduce the sentence of appellant number 1, uh, Sajal Parui, from life imprisonment to 10 years, rigorous imprisonment, but there will be no change in sentence of fine. The bench, however, upheld the conviction, stating that pressure put on the woman by her husband to claim her share in the ancestral property can be treated as a dowry demand. It also upheld the prosecution's case that there are there was a constant demand of money from the husband, which not only led to the woman hanging herself to death, but also ending her child's life. Parui married Chayanika in April 2010 at the time of the marriage. The bride's family allegedly gave gold, cash, household articles. The couple later had a daughter. After some time, Shojol and his family allegedly began demanding more money and pressured Choyonika to claim her share of the ancestral property. Her brother eventually sold portions of property and gave her a share. In June 2014, the woman's brother received a call from her in laws and rushed to the house where he found his sister and niece hanging from the ceiling. A case of dowry death under IPC section 304B was registered against the husband and his parents. While the husband was convicted, his parents, who had been sentenced for 7 years jail, were acquitted after the High Court found no cogent evidence against them. Look, um, be there any evidence or not, but this kind of only it has to be rare, then you should give a capital punishment or life imprisonment. No, if the crime is proved, then you have to give a life imprisonment or the adequate or the appropriate punishment to punish the culprit, right? So what is a case is rare or not rare? I don't I don't know what they are actually talking about. Only they will give the life imprisonment if this kind of case are rare, by labeling this kind of cases as not rare or um, it has to be rare kind of case to get the life imprisonment punishment. Then this kind of um, soft manipulation towards the on the victims to get to this position where they are compelled to take their life away or take their child's life away, um, will not to be um, referred as a rare case anyway. So these kind of crimes will surely be increased. So it is not the matter of which case is rare or not, but the matter is if it is a crime, then the appropriate punishment should be there. State schools stared at manpower's crunch as teachers roped in for census duty. Actually, all maximum of the teachers are there for SIR, for vote duty and all. I don't think, of course, that's why state schools are uh, not getting that much of hype, and the private schools are getting their student number increased. Businessmen duped of 13 lakh. The businessmen are also tricked by these scammers. One senior citizen loses 3.3 crore rupees in digital arrest scam. Look, be aware. 203 Bihar residents filed FIR signed plea to free up pavement. Ministers Mukhomukhi to debut today. The district citizen minister interaction platform Mukhomukhi, which State Urban Development and Municipal Affairs Minister Agnimitra Paul had earlier announced, will be launched on Tuesday. Citizens can directly call up Paul on the toll-free number 1800 2035 123, like 180020035123, if they face serious problems with water supply, road maintenance, and drainage. The first session, to be held from 3 to 4 p.m. on Tuesday, is meant for KMC areas. The schedule for other civic areas will be announced later. Paul has said she would herself be present to take the citizens' grievance. Oh, I don't know why the air is so paining. Maybe for the fan, it is high speed, and there is no regulator to regulate the speed of it. My goodness, it is really causing me pain in my head. Paul had said she would herself be present to take the citizens' grievance. Once problem is resolved, the complainant will receive a message. Former Mayor Firhad Hakim had a similar weekly initiative, Talk to Mayor, at the KFC headquarters, where where he used to take calls from citizens to redress civic grievances. Good. Now, Mamata leads Kalighat candlelight march. Opposition netas meet victim scheme. Of course, it is being told about the Baripur victims case. So, Baripur rape and murder case. Now, ex-High Court judge can't be impeached after resignation, as Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has decided to table the inquiry committee's report on former Allahabad High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Verma in Parliament. Constitutional experts said that the continuation of motion for his removal will serve no purpose as the former judge has already resigned. Justice Verma resigned on April 9th, faced with a removal motion on discovery of wads of an unaccounted money if in his official residence in Delhi. But President Draupadi Murmu does not appear to have accepted his resignation as his name still figures at serial number 4 of the list of judges in Allahabad High Court official portal, causing speculation that he can still be impeached. Placing the report in Parliament is bound to mark a new turn in the debate over the issue as MPs cutting across party lines had signed the notice for Burma's removal after what was seen by many of them as a clear case of corruption. With neither government nor opposition parties which joined the Treasury benches in signing the bipartisan notices for his removal, speaking on the issue so far. The fate of the motion remains unclear. The option of lodging an FIR to get the bottom of the source of money is also there, but it is a call for government to take. Scoffing at the speculations on impeachment, senior advocates Rakesh Dwivedi and Sanjay Hegde said that there was no uncertainty or vagueness on the issue and it was unauthoritatively held by the Supreme Court that a judge ceases to be a judge after resigning the post and acceptance of resignation was not needed. Acha, but if he had done such corrupt work or any corruption, so he will get spared just by resigning. He will not be questioned. Oh my god, how? Whatever Indian um, na- Indian justice is not this system, judicial system is not on the correct track. Indian diplomat protests strong depiction of Jammu and Kashmir at Dhaka seminar. Journey of Faith 116-year-old treks to Tirumala gets a VIP darshan. Her name is Navani Thamma during her special darshan Monday. Navani Thamma, achieved what many half her age would find daunting. She trekked the 11-kilometer Alipiri footpath leading to the Tirumala temple in Andhra Pradesh, driven by an unwavering desire to seek the blessing of Lord Venkateshwara. Jai Lord Venkateshwara. There is 3-year window for keeping vehicles in another state on radar, okay? 5-year-old falsely implicate a stranger. A court has convicted a man of sexually assaulting a 5-year-old boy in 2022 POCSO case, observing that a child such an age would never implicate an unknown person without any motive. Holding the boy's testimony to be so natural, the court convicted the accused of all charges, dismissing all the contentions raised by the defense. Additional Session Judge Ajay Nagar said, the survivor isn't supposed to make such allegations of oral penetrative sexual assault against the accused or any other putting the dignity of himself at stake. In 2022, the boy, then aged between 4 to 5 years, accompanied his father to a playground in Shabad Diary Soon the father could not locate him. According to prosecutor Rajesh Shirolvi, the boy was finally found with the accused Shakil Asgar in a compromising position, and Asgar was beaten by the crowd. A case was lodged under Section 377 of IPC, Section 6 of POCSO. Even boys are not safe. Mark dead on paper. 36-year-old with disabilities loses pension. A 36 years old man with 100% disability stopped receiving disability pension 2 years ago because a clerical error marked him as deceased in government record. Rajkumar Vishwas, a resident of Satyanagar village in Nadia, was not been receiving his pension, a vital financial lifeline for Vishwas' elderly parents. Ashok Sushama reports Ashish Poddar. Vishwas' parents said they have spent the past 24 months running pillar to post from the Krishnaganj Gram Panchayat office to the block development office and the local Panchayat Samiti, but to no avail. Officials have maintained that no relief can be granted as long as central database lists Vishwas as deceased. They added. Oh my god. No. Officials have maintained that no relief can be granted as long as the central database lists Vishwas as deceased. But he is alive. So the issue recently snowballed into a political controversy with Amit Pramanik, BJP's organizational district secretary for Nadia, publicly criticizing the local administration for its apathy. Pramanik said the matter has been brought to the attention of Gautam Ghosh, the leader of opposition in Krishnaganj Panchayat Samiti, who has assured to fast track the restoration of the pension. Police used drones to bust child sex rackets, rescued 39 girls. Police in North Dinajpur's Islampur used drones and monitored digital footprints in a 3-day operation to bust a commercial sex racket and rescued 39 girls, minor girls, including an 11-year-old. Uh, on Monday, six alleged traffickers were arrested and charged under the anti-trafficking laws and the POCSO Act, reports Doipayam Ghosh. The racket came to light after an NGO filed worker received information that minor girls were being trafficked and forced into commercial sex work at a location in Islampur. The worker alerted two NGOs, AVA Koshilok Vancha, which formed joint teams with activists from Bihar and Bengal. After confirming the girls were being held at the site, the NGOs informed the local SP. Police deployed drones and tracked digital movement before raiding the location. Some alleged traffickers managed to flee with several children despite the operation. 13 of the 39 rescued girls are from Bihar and 2 from Bengal. The girls were moved to shelter homes. And there has been a second major attack on Assam Rifles. One-day attack on Assam Rifles personnel about 17 kilometers from Ukhrul district headquarters marks second major strike on Assam Rifles personnel since the outbreak of Manipur ethnic conflict in May 2023, following the September 2025 assaults in Nambol in Vishnupur district that killed two, injured five other personnel. According to the locals, heavy gunfire and multiple explosions rocked the area for nearly 2 hours. CM Yuman Khemchand Singh expressed deep sorrow and strongly condemned the attack. The identity of the attackers was not immediately known. I'm so sorry, I'm feeling little dizzy now because it's almost bored. It's not PM, actually AM. And today, as yesterday, because it's past 12, so I can say yesterday. Yesterday, I was not able to read out yesterday's paper, which is like it was 7/7, so 7th of July. So now, at this hour, after finishing my study, I after finishing all the tasks or homeworks or classworks or the student uh, the notes to teach students and all. um, I am trying to get my tasks to get on the track. So I have read, but this news reading session was missed by me, right? So that's why I'm trying it. Hmm. There are many international or global newses. Some of our, like, I will be reading only the headlines. China tests fire missiles into Pacific, sparks alarm. Japan, Australia, New Zealand express concerns over Beijing's expanding military reach. China says launch safe, don't overinterpret. Russia strikes E-22 exposing Ukraine's air defense shortage. Strategic ties with India, China guided by mutual benefit, Bangladesh ministers. Pak Air Force officer killed in Islamabad, TTP claims hit. Crashes break out in Lanka jail, 26 days. Sri Lanka jail, 26 dead, over 100 hurt in clashes break out. There will either be a deal with Iran or US will finish the job. Trump. Now, power and infra drive behind 17% credit growth industry. Semiconductor 2.0 to widen chip incentives. Manipal Health gets SEBI nod for 8,000 crore rupees IPO. Okay, and then comes the headlines of sports like Balogun red card revoked after Trump calls FIFA president. This should be actually discussed in a specific video. I'll be surely discuss this. Okay, ex-chief BEL Bell to lead Raymond's defense biz. Markets rise to 10-week high, easing crude aid climbs. Microsoft cuts for 4.8 thousand uh, jobs to revamp Xbox. Flipkart greenlights cashing out the five to up to 5% wasted stock options. Then fuel efficient car costs may uh, get a new revenue stream. So it is all mixed up with sports and international news and business, of course. And then comes the sad news: the prince who never became king, Neymar from Brazil. Brazil lost from Norway by 2-1 goal. Like Norway scored 2 and Brazil was stuck at 1. So how the mighty fell. The painful farewell of Neymar, Brazil's number 10 reflects the decline of once proud standard bearers of world football. No problem. It is a matter of roller coaster. Like there will be a peak position, there will be a breakdown position, like the deepest position of that route. When young Haaland scored against India, here comes Aditi in third. Aditi Ashok finished in third, while Diksha Dagar signed off tied seventh at Hulencourt Women's Open in Belgium. Vishnoi could make a way for Prince in third T20. Leg spinner Ravi Vishnoi has been unimpressive so far. Doping blow puts India's Asian U20 under 20 medals at risk. It's not only the matter of doping in case of this kind of sports, but nowadays Indian youth is really addicted to ganja and all kind of drugs, because I can see, I am experiencing this kind of activities around me, in like not in my house but in my locality. There are many people who rely on this kind of addictive things. um, I don't know how to, and some of them also took injections, and we have complained many times, but they don't actually try to understand my what is the main necessity is that to get rid of all kind of addictions and get our life better, because ultimately health is wealth. That's the thing I was talking about. It was about today's news reading report. Not today's, but it is of 7th July, and tomorrow I'll be reading the, not tomorrow but today, I'll be reading the newspaper, but it will be before uh, 10 a.m. I'll try. Okay, that's it for now, as of now. And as always, I always tell you to please keep yourself healthy and safe, and then make a safety circle around you so that your near and dear ones can feel safe to be around you. And then, if we all try to make this kind of circle around us, and surely these small circles will merge up and create a greater circle of safety, a greater society. That's my motto. Bye bye.